If dinosaurs were alive with Adam and Eve, how did that work?
All right, let's see it.
Well, God did create dinosaurs on the sixth day.
Not according to the Bible.
They're not millions and millions of years older.
They absolutely are.
The word dinosaur wasn't invented until 1841 by a man named Sir Richard Owen. Before that time, dinosaurs were referred to as dragons.
While we do have some records from early China that indicate they discovered dinosaur bones and interpreted them as dragon bones, I am unaware of any data from any society in any way, shape, or form linked to the Bible that shows them discovering what we can identify as dinosaur bones and interpreting them as dragon bones. When we start to see what we can now identify as dinosaur bones popping up in the literature and being discussed among scientists and other interested hobbyists, they interpreted them primarily as giant humans and as other creatures from the Bible, never as dragons.
The word dragon is used 35 times in the King James Bible, which was written before the word dinosaur was ever invented.
So the fact that the King James Version used the word dragon before the word dinosaur was ever invented is utterly meaningless, because the word there is used to render the Hebrew tanin, which refers to a serpent or a fish, and is used to render in the Greek drakon, which is the etymological root of the English word dragon, and refers to a serpent, a snake, a flying mythological creature that guards the golden fleece, and other things like that. It has absolutely no relationship whatsoever to dinosaurs.
There are two such specific dinosaurs actually mentioned in the book of Job.
No, there are not.
In Job chapter 40, God tells Job about a dinosaur named Behemoth. This dinosaur eats grass like an ox, and its tail is like a cedar tree. What does that sound like to you?
So like Leviathan, Behemoth is just a mythological chaos monster from antiquity. It's not to be identified with anything zoological, but folks who have tried to have suggested it most closely resembles a hippopotamus. And this creator is having to selectively isolate certain features of its description to make it sound like a sauropod, but is doing so inaccurately. For instance, the text does not say that its tail is like a cedar tree. It's using the word tail as a euphemism for the phallus, and it says that it makes its tail erect like a cedar tree. The behemoth is just a mythological creature that is not to be identified with a sauropod or anything else zoological.
In the book of Isaiah, the Bible says that Leviathan is a dragon of the sea.
So this is Isaiah 27:1, which twice uses the word nachash, serpent, to describe Leviathan. And this is actually directly quoting a Ugaritic text from several hundred years before Isaiah that describes Baal defeating Lotan, which is the Ugaritic cognate for the Hebrew Leviathan. And it calls Lotan the exact same thing, the wriggling serpent, the twisting serpent, only instead of saying the dragon that lives in the sea, and there that is the Hebrew word tanin, which means sea monster or serpent or big fish. It calls Lotan the seven-headed dragon, and this is related to what we have in the book of Revelation. So this is absolutely not a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs did exist with mankind.
No, they didn't.
That's why the idea of dragons permeates so many cultures. What happened to them? Well, I don't have time in this video to go into all of it, but before the flood happened, the Earth's atmosphere was vastly different. There was most likely double, at least, the oxygen pressure that there is today. If you look at a brachiosaurus, its neck is 20 to 30 feet long, and its nostrils are like the size of a horse's nostril. How in the world can that animal get enough breath in its lungs in order to live? It can't, unless there's about double the oxygen pressure. In the Bible before the flood, people lived much longer. The same can easily be assumed about the animal kingdom.
So oxygen levels in Earth's atmosphere have ebbed and flowed over hundreds of millions of years. So this is just isolating a few pieces of data and entirely ignoring all of the science around it that is supporting and undergirding it, just to try to make a point about trying to correlate these things to a biblical timeline, which is nonsensical.
Dinosaurs did exist with man in the Bible verifies it.
No, they didn't, and no, it doesn't. And this creator is just misrepresenting the science and misrepresenting the Bible to try to make people who don't understand either feel validated in their dogmatism.